This is a marvelous book. I hesitate to recommend it to just anybody because it's very meaty as a philosophical text. So it's very dry, might be kind of hard to read. But if you're a Christian, or if you were a Christian, or if you are a Vedantist who was a Christian, or are bringing your Christianity into Vedanta with you, which is quite legitimate, this book, Christianity and the Doctrine of Non-Dualism, is an incredibly well done academic discussion on whether or not Advaita Vedanta is compatible with the Christian tradition. And this monk who has done this quite profound amount of work here fully believes that there's no problem whatsoever that Advaita Vedanta and Christianity are 100% coexistent, can live together and be happy. So that was an aside, because the one little section here that I wanted to read is actually about something quite different and not necessarily part of that argument, but is still very cool, and I wanted to talk about it. He says here in this paragraph, life is neither long nor brief. I taste only one moment at a time. My life is the present moment. From this arises the sentiment that we sometimes experience, however little we pause to observe ourselves and our ambience, of beginning to exist now, of being for the first time, and at the same time, strangely, of never having been born. We will see that the exact significance of this impression further on when we speak of pseudo-aseity, but for the moment we can say that this in no way suppresses continuity in our life, but that, as a Buddhist might say, it is a continuity without identity. Identity is not situated in the level of the temporal existence. And then he goes off on the next paragraph and kind of talks from a Sufi perspective about this notion that this present is your life. There's no such thing as a past. We've talked about that. And there's no such thing as a future. We've talked about that. That there's only now. This present moment is eternal. It has no beginning and it has no end. And it's very important to think in those terms. I'm trying right now in my life to live on a point and not on a line, which has been an extremely big adjustment in the way that I think, in the way that I exist. I don't allow myself to plan. I don't allow myself to take responsibility for things that require a past or a future. I simply am trying to live in full awareness of the moment, turning all of my faculties into an ear so that I can be in step, in line with this perfect harmony of the moment, the divine, the I am, which is the moment. And so it really brings us to the point that you really can either believe in past, present, or future, or, well, actually, let me rephrase that. You can only believe in a past and a future and no present, or you can believe in a present with no past and no future. And why do I say that? I say that, well, if you're going to have a past and a future, at what point does the future become the present before it becomes the past? That is an infinitely small sliver, so infinitely small that I would venture to say you would say it's non-existent, that the future passes immediately into past, that there is no point where there is an existence if you've got past and future in your vocabulary. So you just take the moment. And in this moment, past doesn't exist as a thing, but it does exist as a concept of mind, right? And future exists only as a concept of mind. There's no reality to it. There's no inherent isness to it. And so this moment is eternal. And in this moment, you are experiencing your eternity. And in this moment, you are brand new at every moment, right? That you are brand new in every moment. And that really is the very groundwork for a beautiful ideal of grace. You know, that you don't have to drag your past in and have it color and pollute your clear vision of the moment, and you don't have to have a future that will distract you and try and make your moment about attaining something at some imagined date. It allows you to be present and to be alive and to be here and to realize your eternity, right? That you were never born. In this moment, there is no birth for you and there is no death for you. You are simply the isness, and this is eternal. This never goes away. And so in this moment is everything. The entire past is summed in this moment. The entire future is projected from this moment. And so really the moment is that which contains all of the past and all of the future, and is complete and whole in and of itself. And this moment is God. It is the I am. And your relationship with this moment is your relationship with God. If you're unhappy, if you're stressed out, if you're anxious, these are all invitations to consider your relationship with the moment. Usually things with anxiety are drawn from the future. So you're bringing the future into the present, and that's causing anxiety. Resentment, regrets, these are things that tend to happen when you bring the past into the present and color it incorrectly. Leave the things in the past. Let them go. Leave the things of the future to the future and let them go. You be here now and live according to the nature of the moment, which is love, wisdom, and being. Do things only from love. Do things only from wisdom through this moment, and life will just go on all right for you. So if you want to look at this book, I'll put it up here again. If you like difficult philosophical writings, it's very, very interesting, and he makes some great points. I'll share some more of them in the next week.